Hey there, I hope you're doing great. Happy New Year. It is January 3, year of our Lord, 2024. And if you don't know me, I'm Jim Munchback, CEO at BayRock Financial. And if you're a client, well, you got an email from me, and then I wanted to share this video with you along with your quarterly performance statement. So when you got that email, there was a link to this video. I'm going to be posting some market updates moving forward in 2024. It's something I've been planning on doing, working with the team to figure out the best way to do that. But I sure would like your input if you're a client, if you have, or if you're not a client as well. But if you're interested in some of the things that impact the market, impact your portfolio, just let me know what you're interested in hearing about. I'm going to try to keep these market updates pretty short, and I'll give you a little spoiler alert that, oh, by the way, I am posting this to my new YouTube channel at Jim Munchback. So if you haven't subscribed, if you want to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell, you'll get notified when I post videos. I post videos on my YouTube channel for my course at the University of Houston, Personal Finance, and I'm going to be posting in a certain playlist for BayRock clients. So if you want more information, just let me know. But it is at the channel at Jim Munchback, and that's kind of new. So if you want to check that out, check it out. Do be sure to check out, this is posting. I'm posting this video on YouTube so that I can embed it in a post at BayRock Financial. So if you got the email from me that says watch this video, you would have clicked on that hopefully, and you're taken to this page with this video, and that's kind of how it's going to work. So what I did was I posted this January market update, which is my first post. First time to do this. I'll be posting on a regular basis for sure every quarter when we do quarterly reports. I want you to know what I'm thinking, what I'm looking at, and I just wanted to share some of the things that I'm looking at right now so you can read this. There's a pretty good amount of information in this post that I'll be talking about over the next several months. But spoiler alert, the villain in the story, in my opinion, is the Federal Reserve. So I believe that the Federal Reserve has become and is and has been somewhat political. And the votes that came in at the last meeting and the conversation shifted dramatically from higher for longer to something very different. So we have rate decreases coming that is impacting the markets. We have fiscal spending, and that's why we have the image of the dollar bills being printed, because really what's impacting the market more than anything, it's the FOMO of rate cuts, which is really powering the stock market up, has been. So we'll talk about that over the next few weeks, months. But interest rates coming down, I wanted to share. Let me just show you kind of what I'm looking at. This is the Treasury yield curve. So if you look at that, that's today. Well, actually, that's not today. That's yesterday. This is today. That is an inverted yield curve. And if you are curious about what's caused tremendous pain in the bond market, this yield curve helps to explain it a little bit. If you want to see a normal yield curve, this would be my birthday, 2023. And if you're not familiar with the yield curve, it's just basically a way to look at what interest rates are across different timelines, starting with very short notes and starting with, let's see, we've got 1 month all the way up to 30 years. So typically this is a normal yield curve, and typically you get paid more for longer duration. And that is how it's supposed to work. But again, for some time, we've been in an inverted yield curve, which has caused a tremendous amount of pain in the bond market. So that's one of the things that we look at. Another thing I look at is the Fear and Greed Index. It looks like this is not giving me, there we go. Well, I don't want to see the reader view. I want to see the actual chart. So this is kind of fun to watch and keep an eye on. It's the Fear and Greed Index, and it's a good indicator to kind of understand when the market is very, very high and over bought, which it has been recently. It is in the extreme greed. When things get to the other end of the chart, the gauge here, extreme fear, that's a pretty good time to be buying or investing. But right now seems to be a pretty good time to maybe take some profits and store up some cash. But that's one of the indicators that we look at. Another one is this VIX. It's the volatility index. It started to go up in the last couple of days as I expected that. One of the things I really like to keep an eye on, and I want you to be aware of, because it really is one of the drivers. If this chart will come up, it looks like I have a bit of a slow internet connection, but this is the U.S. debt clock, and it is just on a scorching move. Fiscal spending is driving the national debt up, and not just the debt, but the deficit. So it's something that will continue to impact the stock market, but in ways that I don't guess everyone would imagine. For one thing, the more the federal government spends, the more liquidity there is in the market. And that's one of the things that's really fueling the stock market rise that we've seen over the last couple of months. But this is an important thing to keep an eye on. At some point, there will be some pain related to the cost of debt. The amount that we're spending to service this debt that is rising rapidly is really something that hasn't hit the market. Another thing that hasn't hit the market is the delayed effect of the rate increases that we've had over the last couple of years. So yes, interest rates are coming down, and yes, that's going to impact a lot of things in a good way. But typically, before it impacts things in a good way, we have some kind of something in the market. The last announcement by the Fed that they were going to reduce rates, there was a lot of questions. There were a lot of questions in my mind with what Chairman Powell said in his speech. And one of the questions that was asked is, why the sudden change in direction when you are so data dependent? And his answer was not very clear. It seemed like it just didn't seem very clear. And in my opinion, it seemed as if there was a radical shift that might be explained by one of two things. I have my favorite assumption, which is that the Fed has become more political. The appointees from the Biden administration that are now on the board voting, they, I believe, are wanting interest rates to come down for obvious reasons. Obvious reasons because the politics of interest rates and the economy are significant. And so I believe that in a presidential election year, which is another major driving force in this current market. In fact, I posted a few things about several of the indicators that I'm looking at. You can take a look at those. They're all in this post for your fun, if you're interested. But at any rate, one of the things that I mentioned is the presidential election. So two of the things that the presidential election and the January effect, two things I'm looking at that are not on this list of indicators, but they're somewhat interesting. But the presidential election, if you think about in a year where there's a presidential election, the entire administration is incentivated to do everything they can to make the economy look good, to make the stock market look good too, because when the stock market's up, everybody feels good about their savings and their 401k and their retirement plans and so forth. And so in a presidential election year, we can expect that all the driving forces, all the levers of power are being manipulated in such a way to increase the returns in the stock market. I just realized I don't have my mic on. Okay, I'm back for part two. Sorry about that. I didn't have my microphone on. The little green light's on. I didn't notice. I'm sorry. I'll try to do better in the future. Hopefully the audio is better now that I have an actual microphone. So back to the January effect and the presidential election. Those are two factors that are just something to watch. Certainly the presidential election is something that will impact this year's choices and decisions about portfolio management. The January effect is just kind of a happy indicator to give us an idea based on statistics and history about what this year might look like based on how January looks. So anyway, that's just something to kind of have in your mind if you're interested in following the market and if you're interested in market updates or what I'm thinking. By the way, I'm going to just kind of end now with, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover as far as an introduction to this market update. So again, I'll be doing this over the next several months throughout the year, maybe for the rest of my career here at BayRock. But one thing I want you to know is that I am working on paying attention to these indicators, and things have changed. The four scariest words for a professional investment manager would be, this time is different. But there are things that are so unique and so unusual based on what happened after COVID, the amount of stimulus, the amount of liquidity in the market, the Fed's response, and now their new response, and the amount of debt that we have and the cost of that debt. So there are a lot of things that, well, they're making indicators and historical norms somewhat irrelevant in some ways. And so I'll be talking about some of those things over the next several months. But I want you to know that as I'm working on identifying, really paying attention to indicators and what's happening in the market and being ready to move quickly in terms of adapting your portfolio to those changes, I want you to know I'm here to review your portfolio with you whenever you're ready. But more importantly, I know your portfolio, your investments are very important for your financial future, but I do believe that what can move the needle more than investment returns is financial planning. So I want to encourage you as we start this year to reach out. Let's spend some time together and work on your financial plan in addition to your portfolio. And let's make sure that the amount of risk that you have is the amount of risk that you want and the amount of risk that you need based on inflation and the rising cost of goods and services. That requires us to sometimes have a little more risk in our portfolio, especially during times like this when we will see, we're very likely to see the price of stocks going up. But the problem is there's going to be some volatility, which means, as I've always believed, as I've said to you, my clients, from the very beginning, I believe the trend is higher highs and lower lows. So if you think about, I'll be showing you over the next several months, several asset classes that have had extraordinary highs, higher highs, and extraordinary lower lows. If you think about in 2020, oil was trading at negative $40 a barrel. That would be what I consider to be a lower low. It never happened in history before. So again, this time may be different. Could be different. There are things that are just unusual that we're going to be I'll be paying attention to. And I just wanted to share some of my thoughts and insights based on my research and let you know what I'm thinking, and mostly that I'm available to meet with you whenever you're ready to review your portfolio and update your financial plan. So thanks for watching this update. Again, if you're a client, you've got some documents in your portal, your performance review from the last quarter. That report is in your portal. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me, shoot me an email, send me a text message, call. And if you want to book a time to meet with me, there is a link here for anyone who wants to do that. If you click on that link, I believe it should take you to this calendar where you can actually book a meeting. So a Zoom meeting or a phone call, whatever you want to do. Thanks again for watching the video. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget, you can subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel, at Jim Munchback. Munchback has an H on the end, so I'll hope to see you there. Take care.